Dave Palumbo here with Muscle Serpents Daily, and it should be called Muscle Serpents Evening because you know what? I'm always doing this at night. As you can see, the backdrop, it's black, it's dark, it's pitch black. It's actually 3 in the morning, and I'm just gonna do this quickly, or at least I'm gonna do this little intro quickly, and I gotta go to sleep at some point on Saturday night here. But I'm gonna call this Saturday Night Carpets. That's right. All you guys have been asking me for carpet videos. I'm going to give you an update on my caramel double head snow to double head snow pairing from 2020. I'm going to show you all the babies and some of the possibilities of what we got. And, you know, nothing too elaborate. Once again, I really hate the reason I hate showing the carpets is because until they're over a year old, they still have the juvenile colors. Some of mine are just starting to turn now, so I'm feeling a little better about showing them. But it's hard to tell, you know, what these things really exquisitely will look like when they're adults if you don't really know carpets. So here we go. We're going to go in there. We're going to take a look, and after we take a look at them, we'll do a final evaluation. Now this little baby here from 2020 is really interesting because this is a double het snow. I'm going to try to get her out here without getting bit. Okay. This is a double het snow. This is a het Axanthic, het albino, 66% only, so we don't really know if it is or not. However, look at the pattern on this thing. It's like little circles almost, weirdness. Really nice looking baby. But once again, nothing spectacular except if you're into like pattern anomalies, which I'm almost tempted in a sense to hold it back because of the weirdness to the pattern. All these little baby carpets have just started eating recently, so I'm kind of excited about that. Less drama for me. Way less time also. This is your typical double het. Once again, with a little bit of pattern alteration along the body here. Almost like a stripe down the back, the dorsal side. Now let's take it one step further. This is a caramel. Really creamy looking. Starting to get its adult colors too. Really nice. You know, I hate showing these carpets off sometimes because they have the baby, you know, juvenile colors, and they haven't really gone through the color change yet. This one's just starting to get its nice creaminess in, and you can see this is going to be caramel. This is 66% het snow. That's het for albino and het for Axanthic. But this thing looks a little creamier than it probably should as a caramel, which would tell me probably, more than likely, it's het Axanthic. And as we've talked about, and I know a lot of people have talked about Nick Mutton and Eric and Owen, the het Axanthics definitely have a visual component to them, and they look different. So this caramel het Axanthic is probably het Axanthic. Even though we're calling it 66%, I would bet my bottom dollar this is a caramel het Axanthic, 66% het albino. Look at that, nice creamy color. Love it. Really interesting. Here's a nice, really nice Axanthic, 66% het albino. And if he lets me, he doesn't take the camera off, you can see his nice silver eye there. Really nice looking little baby. And still not getting his complete, you know, adult colors, but just starting to come in. Once again, that silver eye just tells you Axanthic all day long. He's got some really reduced pattern along his, you know, ventral side too, which is kind of interesting. So he's kind of like a silver and black snake. And then of course he's 66% het snow or 66% het albino, same thing. So this I haven't even sexed him yet, to be honest. So I'm calling him a him, but I haven't sexed him. Once again, the Axanthic really, once again, this is the double homozygous, and you'll see that silver eye. That's how you tell the Axanthic. whereas the het doesn't really have that solid silver eye. And as you can see, really lack of reds in here whatsoever. It's kind of just black and silverish color if the camera picks it up well. Here's another caramel. Not quite as nice adult colors yet. Also not as light, so I'm wondering if maybe there's no Axanthic in here. It's possible. Might not be het Axanthic, but then again, this is a much redder looking snake, so I don't know. Maybe it's a higher expression caramel. Once again, it's very hard to make assessments of carpet pythons when they're young and they're under a year old. I'll tell you one thing, this guy doesn't like the camera. He wants to eat this camera. But once again, you see that nice caramel. This is a 66% het snow, or 66% het albino, and 66% het Axanthic. But there's definitely caramel in there. You can see it. Now here's a visual albino that's definitely still in its juvenile colors. It hasn't come into its adult form. It hasn't gone through its color change yet. It's a little better than it was. It's getting a little lighter day by day or week by week. And now that it started eating really well, I think it'll start changing quicker. This is a 66% het Axanthic, of course, and really nice looking snake, you know, some really nice highlighting, but we haven't really, like I said, we haven't even begun to see the adult colors in this thing yet. But here's an albino, just to give you the guys the different outcomes that we got here, and you can see obviously the red eyes there. Really nice. Here's what I believe to be a snow. This is a visual albino Axanthic. I produced one before, and I'm actually breeding them this year. I produced them a couple years ago, and you could tell they have a little bit of pattern. This guy hasn't gone through his color change yet, but you can see there's a little bit of pattern here, but not much. Now, I don't think this is a caramel, but I don't think this is a sunglows are what we call the caramels, and combined with the albino. This looks snow to me. Like I said, I've produced them before. I would go with snow all day long. She's hugging my, I haven't sexed these once again, hugging my arm here. So this is about as nice as it gets until we get to the final outcome. But this, I think snows are gorgeous. I even like the fact that they have a little bit of yellow and a little bit of pattern in them when they get to adult colors. It kind of gives them a little more character, I think. It's like an almost white snake, but just little splotches of yellow. Once again, really nice eyes too. Now, I think this is the Moonglow. I believe this to be the caramel combined with, it's one copy of the caramel gene, combined with albino. Only because it's yellow, it's more yellow in there and orangey in there. If you look at the head, and I'm not an expert by any means. I've never produced a Moonglow. This is my first one, if I'm right. And the only reason I think I got it right is because I have a bunch of different options to compare it to. So if I didn't have all the other ones that I just showed you, I wouldn't really be able to tell. The other one I just showed you is definitely a snow. This is definitely different than the albino. It's got, like I said, the oranges in its body. Of course, it hasn't gone through its color change yet, so it's really hard to tell, you know, what the body's going to look like. But you can see the head's changing already, and the head is definitely way more, got yellows in it and orangey stuff going on in there. So I'm going to call this a Moonglow. And this one's really doing well. It's really eating well now, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for me to get rid of any of these, you know, and I know I'm going to have to sell some of them, but once again, my ultimate goal is to produce a breeding population of Moonglows, because I really think, you know, I know a lot of guys want dark, a lot of people like pattern. I'm going for the white snake. You know, I want to produce a lot of white snakes so I can get them into the pet trade, and for people who want to not only breed them but just enjoy them, because nothing, to me, there's nothing more beautiful than a solid white carpet python. Maybe a solid black one would be just as good. but I don't have the tools yet, or the components to make that. All right, and here's the pinnacle. We've shown her before. Show him again. He, she, I don't know, I haven't sexed him yet. But this is the Moonglow. Look at that eye. Not only is it red, it's like a white red, which tells me that, and it look, the body is still really, really white. I think in the adult form, we're gonna still see some little possibilities of a little bit of the yellowish tinging in it. Almost like you might see in the super fireball python, but it's I think until we get to the super moon, or the full moon as Wayne Larks calls it, I don't think we're gonna get a pure white, but this has held the test of time. This one's still really, really white with the white eyes. I think this is the Moonglow, and you know, every time I look at it, I'm still blown away. I can't even imagine what this snake is gonna look like when it's big. I mean, right now it doesn't even have its adult. When this thing gets to like where, you know, you can really handle it and it's a nice big snake. Oh, big white carpet. I've been dying. I mean, since I laid eyes on carpets, that's what I've wanted. And it's really nice that I hope, you know, I just pray that nothing goes wrong and she, he, whatever, you know, grows up nice and healthy. But look at that. That is crazy, crazy. I wish I had him outside, but I'm doing this really late at night in my snake room, so you gotta make do with me. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous specimen. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today, tonight, this evening, this morning, whatever you wanna call it here at Muscle Serpents Daily. I hope you guys enjoyed the carpet video and the update on this caramel double head snow to double head snow clutch. It looks, you know, so far so good. Fingers are crossed. That Moonglow is looking like a Moonglow. The snow looks like a snow. It looks like we have a sun glow in there, and it looks like, you know, we have the possibility of obviously a bunch of Axanthics and maybe even a caramel Axanthic, which I guess you would call a ghost. So it looks like if you look at the spread, it looks like we kind of hit the odds on pretty much every combination that you could possibly want. Once again, until they actually hit their adult form and go through that ontogenetic color change, we won't really know for sure. Sometimes we might be guessing too the whole time. We might not really ever know for sure until we breed it out and prove it. But, you know, I think I'm getting at least one step closer to the pinnacle of what I wanted, which is that full moon, which would be the super caramel, you know, albino Axanthic, you know, which would be the, I guess, theoretically a triple homozygous animal, and it should be solid white. I think this Moonglow is going to stay pretty solid white too. Once again, it's been a slow eater, so I think, you know, she's a little, or he, I don't know, a little behind the other one. So probably over the next 6 months, we'll get a true idea of what their final colors are going to be, and then they'll start growing, and then obviously we'll see what they grow into. My snow that I have now is very white. It's only got little patches of yellow throughout it, and it actually kind of looks cool, as I was mentioning before. So you don't have to have all white snakes, but I think that I like the idea of having those blotches of white. Right now we don't have any pied, so I'll take the snow as my theoretical pied, in the sense where it's got mostly white with some yellow in it. All right, if you guys are interested in carpets, I still do have some 2019s available. I don't even think I have them all up on Morph Market. Contact me if you want. I think I have some Axanthic, 66% het, albinos, and a couple others for sale as well. These 2020s hopefully will be available for sale as soon as they're solidly eating. Most of them are now. I'll have a lot of the 60. I know a lot of you guys have bought 66% het snows for me, and I put them up at a very reasonable price. So a lot of people bought pairs from me and really, you know, took them, and hey, you know what? I get to have a great carpet python at a reasonable price, and you know what? If I breed these guys together and they produce snows, I hit the lottery. So that's going to be available also in the coming months. All right, you know what to do, guys. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. We'll see you back Monday morning.